What's up, guys? Coach Dylan, CrossFit Mount Lebanon. Just the Tip Tuesday. Today's a little bit different. I wanted to discuss consistency. And it's a little bit different because this is going to kind of be on a personal note with some people. And mainly just putting some information or ideas out there on how you can be better for yourself, how you can kind of achieve any sort of goals that you wanted to, whether that's fitness related or not. And it's going to be kind of different just because this is actually going to be a little bit longer of a video. I know that I do have some tendencies of rambling on often. So if you're just getting the short clip of this, find the full video, go to YouTube, go to our YouTube channel, CrossFit Mount Lebanon, and check this one out. I hope this one helps you out a lot. So I did want to talk about consistency, mainly because we're ending the year, and I know a lot of people in January are going to be like, I want something new, I need something new. And I want most people to realize that you really just need to change some habits of your own and maybe just change your mind. So with consistency, the first thing that I did want to talk about is the positive aspect of it. Being positive as often as possible. I've read some books and I've listened to some podcasts that have suggested some ideas even from Navy SEALs and stuff that suggest when you wake up, if you make your bed first thing in the morning, you're starting your day off with win right then and there. And that can even build into a lot more small habits throughout your day, but over that day you've done tons and tons of small tasks that will build you up to consistency and make your successes greater. Something very simple like that. So positive attitude no matter what. If it's a positive situation, you can choose to be positive with it or you can choose to be negative with it. If it's a negative situation, again, you can choose to be positive with it or you can choose to continue to be negative with it. Okay, so being present and being conscious at all times with these whatever habits you want to change or however you want to be consistent with whatever it is, be as present and be as positive as you can because those little tweaks in your attitude and your mental game can change everything. Along with the first one is educating yourself. So if you want to dive into something, if it's fitness, if it's mobility, if it's education, if you're going to school, if you're trying to break some habits, like it's a smoking habit or a drinking habit, whatever it is. If you're trying to be better with family members and discuss things with your family more, or be better with your friends, or be better with your coworkers, whatever it is, just educate yourself and talk or speak with someone that you look up to. I've reached out to some professors before. I've reached out to some coaches before. I've done my own research, read things, and honestly, at the beginning of Just the Tip Tuesday, I had no idea that I was going to go 36 weeks in a row. I had no idea. It's just something that I wanted to start, and I wanted to build consistency on so it would help me out with a lot of other things. And it has helped me in a lot more ways than I ever imagined, and it's really, really cool, and that's why I wanted to kind of talk about consistency today. But educating yourself on that stuff, if you don't know who to reach out to, just study some material online, see what grabs your attention, and try to just go through those roads, and then go back to where you started, look at different points of aspect from it. So after educating yourself and being positive, starting small. If you take way too big of a jump, it could be a pitfall for you. You could just continue to go down one road that you've been going down and you'll realize things get too hard too fast. So starting whatever it is, if it's sleeping habits that you want to change, if it's eating habits or nutrition you want to change, which will end up being an entire new video or a series of videos actually, or if it's fitness related, cool downs or mobility or certain skills that you want to get better at, if it's gymnastic skills or strength skills, whatever it is, if it's education like we talked about earlier, anything, start small. Pick 1 to 2 small habits or things to change and change them every day for 1 to 2 weeks. It's stated out there that it takes about 2 weeks to build or break a habit, to build a good habit or break a bad habit. So if it's something like smoking, 2 weeks and you'll basically understand to yourself, wow, I've built up some consistency, I'm on the right path, I can do this. If it's something fitness related or you're coming into this brand new game where you have no idea what you want to do, you just know that you want to be healthier, pick some small things, and I would recommend picking eating habits and sleeping habits, and being present with those. So with sleeping habits, if it's something like that, for example, don't be on your electronic devices an hour before bed, maybe even 2 hours before bed, because all that light messes with your eyes and it gets really hard to sleep. It can mess up some patterns for you. Or just reading at night and putting your mind to work so you can get a little bit more tired in your mental game and then rest better. Making your room as dark as possible and turning out every single light, even if it's your alarm clock, those little lights, anything can help. So look for small things to change and continue to change those consistently for 1 to 2 weeks. And then you can build off of that. So just knowing and understanding that each day you're going to go through these small tasks and stay on top of them so you can keep setting yourself up for wins. Okay, and then the third thing, as you're going on with these 1 to 2 week cycles, adding things on. So if it's been 2 weeks and you've changed some habits or you've broken some bad ones and you can consistently hold on to that pace, it's time to add or change them up a little bit. Maybe add a degree of difficulty to it or add another spectrum of it. So if it's eating habits, maybe now you're tracking your macronutrients and you understand that you've hit a certain number of macronutrients that make you feel better throughout your day. Now it's time to target that plus your water intake. Something very simple to add on to that, but two things at the same time, if you're jumping right into them together, it could be overwhelming. So pick your little battles and start those and build consistency through those, but maybe change things up once or twice a month and add things on and build that road of consistency. Or if it's fitness related, something recent for me has been warm-ups. Staying on top of your warm-ups and making your warm-ups consistent movement, getting tired, getting sweaty, getting moving, and getting very warm before you jump into anything else. It has a lot more benefits outside of that, and that's something that I've realized on my own personal level, getting into my own workouts and my own training. So that's helped me too. Build on top of those. So the fourth point that I did want to talk about is keeping track and writing this stuff down. Grab a notebook, physically write something down. I know that we live in a new technical world where everything's like on computers and stuff now, but you don't get the same satisfaction in typing something that you do writing something down. So grab a book and write about everything you're doing. Even if it's training-wise, write down how your training session went, what could go different, 2 things that could go different, 2 things that went well, and build on top of those. The more you can build in your own mind and knowing that you're being there for yourself is going to change your mind, which could eventually change your entire world. So even if it's something as sleeping habits, before you're going to bed, write some ideas down that won't be just stuck in your head. Keep them on paper, that way they get out of your head. You don't have to lay in your bed and just keep thinking of those questions, or do the same thing when you're waking up in the morning. Other things like that, if you have different skills, write things down. Get them out of your head, get them on paper, that way you can keep recycling through them and you can keep building on top of these new monthly tasks or additional tasks. And then the last one is just setting yourself up for success. So really small things, like we talked about in the beginning, making your bed the first thing in the morning, you're setting yourself up for success for the next couple days. If it's prepping your food the night before, if you know you have an early morning, prep your stuff the night before. Prep your bags the night before, get ready to get out the door. That way you can build better in your sleeping habits. That way, unlike me, I hope you're not like me, where I hit the snooze button nonstop, which is something that I'm currently trying to break. That'll build way better habits. Overall, small, consistent habits will build into huge habits and changes along the way. The bigger your base, the taller your pyramid can be. Nothing in this world comes easy, and if it's worth it, it's going to be a big benefit for you. So just make sure you're putting in your time. Stay consistent with all this stuff. I know that it's going to be a long, hard battle, but for example, we just started 6 weeks ago, a gymnastics cycle here. And my first day in that gymnastics cycle with these people, the 21 of them who signed up for it, I sat in front of them and said, you are not going to feel good for your first week. You're not going to feel good for your second week. You're going to feel pretty beat up. Your third week, you might start to pop off some light bulbs, but it changes up programming-wise in the 4th week. So the 4th and 5th week, you're also not going to feel great. But I just needed people to trust me and to build through this process of consistency. And we're about to finish out on this gymnastics cycle, and I already have people coming up telling me they've been feeling more stable. They've been doing other things in weightlifting, which the gymnastics has transferred over into their weightlifting skills and helped them there, or their balance skills, or quarter extremity skills, anything like that. Because I've told them in the beginning, this is going to be hard, but you can do it. You can continue to go. And now it's been 5 to 6 weeks. They're going to get ready to test in another week after this, and I believe a lot of people are going to surprise themselves with how well they're going to perform. I have a good amount of people on some strength cycles, and it's been 4 to 5 weeks, and some people are already PRing and setting records for themselves. So it's just a matter of staying consistent, and that's in the fitness world. That's in every other realm of this world that you are living in. So just don't worry about the long picture or the big picture, the long road. Just stay on these small steps, and these small steps will continue into a very long journey. Don't worry about how hard it could be. Just worry about how worth it could be. So that's that video on consistency. Tyler, thank you for the shirt. CrossFit Tantrum, Chris Elson. I saw your post earlier, and you made a post about consistency. Just wanted you to know that I did not steal this idea. I planned on doing a consistency video, so I'm actually really excited that you posted it. I feel like we're bros right now, right in this moment. So did not steal it, but thanks. I 100% agree. It is about consistency. So just the Tip Tuesday. I really hope this helps. Please feel free to reach out if you found this video helpful in any way. I love hearing feedback from that kind of stuff, and I truly do hope that this helps you out in any sort of way.